Hello, my name's Emily Jackman. I teach meditation. I'm also a high dimensional channeler and now an ascension mentor. So, what is ascension? What is meditation? What is enlightenment? What is channeling? What is going on in this world right now? Girl, can you answer that question for me? Yes, I can. Hello. This is going to be a really cool session. So for everyone's aware of some form of reality that's occurring right now, and you're basically on a scale of loving it or hating it, really. But in any moment you can change that. So the idea of reality is that it's going frame by frame, and in any one of those frames you change to a different frame by having a different belief, by having a different thought, by changing your action, by aligning to a more positive life. You're not stuck in your life, you're not stuck in your past. Nothing you've done before has any relevance on what you're going to do next, and all of that is an illusion to keep you stuck in your ego, to keep you thinking you are your name, your family, where you grew up, and every other label that possibly society could give you based on the parameters that the society that we live in is normal, and you can hold yourself as a comparison to it to therefore identify what you are. So if the society is has a general weight and you're a bit more, you'd say I'm overweight. If you're standing next to someone who's walking faster than you, you'd say I'm slow. And it's all based on these comparisons. It doesn't actually identify who you are. So the idea of awakening and the idea of this great awakening right now is that every single human being, frame by frame, if they didn't compare themselves to the next sunny gym next to them and just ask themselves how do they feel and how would they want to feel in this moment, they get to choose how to feel. Now, the trap of the social constructs of the matrix, some would say, and for the third density, obviously for people that know, but this is for people that are just trying to figure out what's going on. It's that you may feel that you don't have a choice and that you are the labels and that you are overweight and slower and you have to go to work and you have to follow the news and that your past does define you and that your family and where you grew up plays a big significance on who you are. Now, if those things feel that they're limiting you to expand and be your full self, then you have a path to let go of them, and that's what awakening means. So, is this cup still there if I don't call it a cup? Yes. Is this cup called a cup? Like, does it actually identify as cup, or it's me calling it a cup? It's me calling it a cup. This thing is whatever it wants to be. It's not, doesn't need to be called a cup. So it's like you could change your name and you'd have a different name. You could change your belief and you'd have a different belief. You could cut your hair off and you'd have a different hair. You could go and move somewhere else and be someone else. And it's all these ideas that you do have a choice of who you are. So being stuck in the idea that you don't is an illusion. So then you realize that maybe you've heard in spiritual doctrine that's been taught for thousands of years that the path of enlightenment is to break free of the illusion. If you've seen, for example, the Matrix film, and in that film obviously they're saying that we're in a dream and we're being used for our energy, it's not too far off, but some of the main differences in that film is that obviously you see in that film that it seems that when you realise the truth that it's quite shocking, but really when you wake up and realise the truth that you've got a choice to do whatever you want, it's actually really fun. The Matrix isn't a real version. We're not in pods. That's not what's happening. So it's not like a documentary of that. It's a philosophical documentary. The whole script is based on Eastern understandings and the path of enlightenment. The whole script. Okay, it's like you don't even need to read a script. You need to get all the Yoga Sutras and all the holy books and basically pick out the best lines, put them in the right order to explain this reality perspective that the collective of humanity live in, and you got yourself the Matrix. It's not like someone's written it and decided that's what it is. It's that if you just look around and use all of the ancient spiritual teachings, you would also realize that. So the Matrix is one of our spiritual resources to say thanks for summing it all up. It doesn't mean we're in pods and that when you wake up you're going to be sucked out of a tube bowled and you've never used your muscles before. What the Matrix represents is that you are in a system that you believe is the only way. And that is true, because let's just say that the system is that you have your name, but you can change your name. Where's the system? Where is the actual system? If you can change your very name, where is this illusionary system? It doesn't exist, okay? You don't have to go to work. You don't have to go to school. You don't have to eat the same food. You don't have to do anything. You could gladly sit there and say, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to work. Do what you want. And then what would happen? In theory, the fear kicks in. Oh, then they'd charge me for the taxes and they could put me in jail. So then you realise that you are in a system, because if they can put you in jail for you not performing within the system, you realise what the Matrix is, okay? Now, is that necessarily going to happen? No. Why wouldn't it happen? This is where your life changes. So really, once you realise the system is to give you a little taste of what you are, you go to school, you learn about biology, you learn about the air, you learn about everything. Everything's given to you on a plate, just a little spoon-fed, little watered-down version. So you are cells, you know that. You've always known, yeah, I'm a bunch of cells, yeah, my cells regenerate, yeah, I've got DNA, yeah, what about it? Okay, well, if you're a bunch of cells, what are you? What's your ego? Who is John? Your cells? Yeah, okay. No, obviously I'm John. Yes, I'm 50 trillion cells and I'm John. All right, well, cool. Because then you step into that next layer of your awakening. You're like, okay, so the Great Awakening means people that are realizing that they can live as the cells they are, as well as identify with the illusion of the name. Because what is more real about you? Your name that was given to you by someone else, or your cellular structure which makes up you, therefore the name was allowed to be. Okay. So then you move into looking at what cells are. And you once again say, do I need the Matrix to tell me what I am? Do I need to go to school to learn that I'm cells? Or do I go to school to learn that I'm cells, but then to say, that doesn't matter that you're cells. You're here to be at school and you're here to go to college and you're here to get a job. So don't even worry about that you're cells. Just know that you are them. But don't actually think about it any deeper or be them at all. You're not here to actually be the experience of what you are. You're here to do what we've said you're here to do, to be here. Okay. So instead, awakening is saying, okay, I'm 50 trillion cells. What are the 50 trillion cells? And then you say, okay, well, I don't want to read a book, because your book's full of bullshit, because it's basically spoon feeding me a watered down version of what I already am. So I'm going to close my eyes. And then that's when you start meditating. So then you come to the path of meditation, and every single meditator is going to tell you, so if you're not on the path, you can go on the path, and it's not some heebie-jeebie. If you close your eyes, calm down your mind, guess what you can feel? Your cells. When you have a thought, you can feel that. Oh, I just felt the neuron move. Oh, I am cells. Wow. Oh, okay, if something hot touches my skin, I can feel the heat. Oh, when I'm cold, I can feel the cold. The Matrix system has labelled it a physical name. I am cold, rather than the feeling of coldness represents the label of the word, creates the thought for you to then share. It's like you're living in a backwards loop, talking about the experience that you are and that you're having, as if that means it's real, as if that's reality, when that's the illusion. Because if you never said anything again, like if you never went to work again, like if I didn't call that cup a cup, does it mean it's not there? Like when someone's quiet and not sharing how they're feeling or whatever, does it mean they're not feeling it? No, you're getting me now, bruv. Yeah. So what's a thought and what's the language that's coming out? It's a afterthought of an experience of the real you, or the realer version of you, which is your cells. So let's just say that the matrix reality that's personified is that life is based around language and what someone's saying, and that you're going to tune in and listen to their words without actually saying, oh wow, those thoughts are from cells. Wow. So if you're tuning into the news and listening to it, it's not heebie-jeebie to look and go, those 50 trillion cells of the president's the label because it's a name. Their name's a name because it was given to them. But what's more real? The idea that they're 50 trillion cells, just the same as me. Oh, we're equal. So it's the labels given to people in the illusion that they're somehow different, that the matrix wants you to believe that you are more than what you actually are, the cells of complete equality. So if you're tuning into these matrix versions of reality that are talking about reality, that are telling you apparently what's going on in your reality, it's like, no, your language is the afterthought of what your cells believe. So now we're getting to the third layer of how you change your cells. So you would change your cells by realizing that however you feel, whatever you're going to say is going to be what you experience. So usually we're going, oh, okay, I'll say positive affirmation. I'll go, I feel great, I feel great, I feel great, I'm sure I feel great. But obviously it's like, I don't, yeah. So we're going to switch it. Instead of trying to say something to change the cells, instead you're going to go into your body and you're going to imagine what would it feel like to feel great? What would it feel like to feel love? Or rich? What would it feel like? So then you go in, you're like, close your eyes, it's okay. It's okay to close your eyes and do some imagination. Guess what you're doing as a child? Imagine, open up your imagination. Did we really open it as much as we could? Do we really open it as much as we can for the children? By leaving them alone and seeing what they come up with? No, it's really hard because we've been conditioned to freaking make sure that they're doing something at all times to apparently open their imagination. But how would it open more if we left them and they had to be bored and then figure it out what they want to do? So you have to get to a point where you go, I'm bored of feeling like crap, I'm bored of being judged, I'm bored of comparing myself, I'm bored of the labels people give me, I'm bored of the labels of the matrix that I'm witnessing, I'm bored of pretending that apparently these cells are different to those cells and their labels mean my labels. Boring. It's boring. So then you close your eyes and you're like, okay, imagine what it would feel like to feel rich. I feel great. Oh, wow, I feel so powerful. I feel so safe. I feel so secure. So then, guess what your cells feel? Different. They just feel different. And then guess what's going to be different that comes out of this? This is the afterthought of the cells. So you're going within, so you can play around with this technique of whether you say, use this as your equal. This is this. So if you're, whatever you're saying, you're going to feel. So if you're saying, I feel like crap, this is this. So whether you say, okay, I feel like crap and that's because my cells feel like crap, okay, but when you say it, it's going to be repeated back to your cells, so you're going to feel like crap again. But if you start saying beautiful things and going, I'm grateful to be here, your cells are going to be activating gratefulness. And if you turn in and close your eyes and say some beautiful things like, I'm grateful, How would it feel to feel grateful? You're activating the DNA, you're activating the cellular structure to actually give you the sensation of gratitude, because guess what? Your cells are going to feel it and you are them. So then you're going to feel grateful. You're actually going to feel rich. It's not like I am cold when I feel cold. Yeah, same. You're going to feel rich when you say I feel rich. Okay? So then that's that stage where you start mastering your reality and stop focusing on other things in reality, because you're like, oh, if I'm here to actually feel a certain way and I have a power over myself to do that, then of course I'm not going to be tuning into the news to watch those cells talk some shit about something when I could be telling myself I'm a superstar and then feel it. Of course not. I'd be insane. I'd be ignorant. And then you realise, okay, so if the cleverest people in the world know this stuff and they know that whatever you say and however you feel, because how do people get to the top in the 3D? How do you think they really get to the top? Because they're saying it to themselves. I'm the best. I'm the best. And they get to the top. But what the mass hear is that they're the best and that you're not. So you start saying it. No, I'm the best. I'm the best. But from that cellular awareness, well, they're 50 trillion cells. They're the best them cells and you're the best you cells. So you're not in a competition. You're just like, I'm the best me. You're the best you. Oh, you're not in charge of me, because why would you be? We're equal. We're this wobbly symbol of cells. Then you come into this next awareness where you're like, what are the cells? And then you're like, oh, they're the DNA. Oh, they're made of all these codes and all these templates. And you could even sell these sacred geometric shapes. You could also call it harmony. You could also call it vibration. So then you could realise that you are actually a symbol of your beliefs. You're a symbol, a full symbol of what you represent. So maybe right now you're the symbol of following a leader and not believing in yourself. And when we see you and we tune into your cells and we listen to what you say, you're the symbol of saying, I follow the guy who says they're in charge. But does that really represent a fair life for your cells? Is that what your cells came to do? Or because you could change the feeling of the cells, do you think they deserve to experience something else? Because I do. And I know you can do it. And I know that one part of it is actually experiencing the experiment of dabbling your toe in the water and saying, oh, okay, what if I didn't watch the news? What would happen to me? Would I be behind the times? Or what if I actually experimented with telling myself that I know everything I need to know and I'm here to experience love and bliss and I don't need a leader. I need everyone to walk around saying, hey, I'm a bunch of cells. I'm here for love, light and bliss, baby. Let's experiment with just being cells rather than being like, you're her from there doing this because of that, compared to her in competition with him trying to... Boring. So then you realise that your cells have this vibration and that when you're tuning into those higher aspects, oh girl, those loving aspects, those grateful aspects, compared to those comparative judgment, follow the leader, BS, PS, the BS, then you start actually realising that you do create reality with your vibration and your thoughts, because guess what? When you're feeling grateful, you're not gonna see a bunch of crap around you. When you're feeling low and you're feeling like your government is trying to kill you, you're gonna feel paranoid. If you're feeling grateful to be alive, you just don't see it. You don't see it. One, because you're not tuning in, but two, what happens, to be quite open with you all, what happens is this: Your cells are energy. Like, I'm saying it in a cellular form to help people break down their ego, to be like, I'm cells and so are you. What do you want me to do? Call you by every freaking past memory you can ever remember? Or you be like, I'll just say I'm cells. That feels great, right? But what happens is this: you've got like an energy body, a mental body, spiritual body. You've got all these bodies, okay? And there's not like separate yous. You can only be a human because you have these different layers. You can only be a human because you're conscious. You're conscious, but you have all these different layers. If you took a yogic path, for example, you'd open yourself up to it. So let's just say like this: once you get into your cells and you realise what's actually happening with your cells, and I realised your cells are vibrating. Cells are vibrating. It's the same as like stem cells, rejuvenation, mitosis, meiosis, that your cells are always changing and regenerating each other. Well, guess what? They're moving. So when you go, I'm grateful, they're like, yeah, I feel good. Or when it's like, I'm scared, it's like, and it changes the composition of your cells. You've probably all seen those Dr. Emoto when he was saying good things to water and bad things to water, and all the water crystalline structures, when they're being told, they're like way off, like they actually look evil. And the ones that are told they're loved and stuff, they're beautiful crystals, like the perfect snowflake. So your body, these cells that you have are 70% water. You're no different. So now you step back from the matrix and you go, oh my gosh, the fact that maybe the people in charge live off science and lap it up, the fact they know this and they're not saying to their people, we love you, you are loved, tell yourself the best things about yourself every day. There's no competition, there's no ego, we're cells, we're water, we've done these experiments. If you tell yourself beautiful things and just surround yourself with such peace, your actual cells will be healthy in these beautiful snowflake crystal structures. Let's see how far humanity can expand and evolve if we all live in this peaceful utopia and just try it and heal. And let's spend all our money on spiritual healing and psychology and everything like this. Or scare, we're in charge, scare, literally damaging your cells. And what are you? You are your cells. So are they damaging you? Yes. They are literally damaging your entire essence. It's not about whether Jimmy or Steffi, it's about your cells, and whatever you come into contact with is either telling you you are beautiful divine being, and your cells are like, oh, thank you, oh, okay, I feel good. Or they're damaging your cells, and then you look again and you're like, okay, the same people have damaged your entire planet, they've damaged your children, they've damaged your health, they've got you in debt, they've cut down your rainforest. They are literally wanting to damage and cause you concern. So they want to cause you to feel stressed. They want you to be pissed off. They want you to focus on the negativity because your cells will be damaged. Now, this also comes under very easy to understand method that then you will be conditioned and trained to feel negativity is the norm, meaning you are more likely to go along with more extreme negativities because you're almost clasping at this one bit of happiness. So let's just say someone that's never treated kindly, and then their abuser comes in to give them a bar of chocolate just for that 1 second. That person will feel this, moment of hope, and that's what your governments do by saying, for example, oh, everything's all right, it's going to be okay. Oh, it's not now. Sorry, no, it's not. I'm sure it will be. It's literally escalating into this neglectful, abusive relationship and damaging yourselves, but letting you hold on because you're so low in energy, like your vibration is so low and so damaged by the pollutants, the earth, the news stories, the whole rhetoric of comparison, the whole rhetoric of not being what you are, divine DNA and cells, consciousness, that they can keep you like a donkey in a thread. Now, what's the next layer of that? That what are your actual cells? Deeper studies, and as meditators, your cells are made of light. They're light. You're made of light and space. A cell's structure, 99.99% empty space. Like they say, the whole of the human population would fit in one sugar cube if it was taken the space out of. You're made of light particles, which helps you allow to release the labels further. For let's just say, if you would be one speck of dust within that sugar cube, where is the label of John holding on to all of the misery in their life? Why not say, I am one speck of light, and guess what? I am here to live my best dream life because I am now aware of this knowledge, and therefore anything that you try and force me to believe and do is eradicated by this scientific approach. And as I close my eyes and begin to meditate with guides that are trying to reach out and help me access what I am, this one spark of the divine light of this all, I'm going to detach more and more from the low conscious, painful, comparative, nasty, low self-esteem, pain, physical, greed, lower conscious ways of being, because you're made of light. What's light's problem? What is light like? Oh, please moan about being so bright and fast and light speed. No. Light's like, I shine in the dark. I'm gold. I'm bright, I'm hot, I'm clear, I'm fine. And guess what? They don't want you to feel light. That's why they lower your cellular vibration by calling you a name, a statistic, the labels. They feed you loads of crap. They ruin your planet so you actually consciously don't feel that there is a way out. They trap you in houses. They force the money system on you to think that your wealth is money. Your wealth is your cells, baby. Your wealth is your spark of light. Your wealth is your health of the cells, but your main wealth is the currency of your vibration, and your vibration is the choice that you make when you say what you are. Now hopefully you understand a hippy dippy I am the light, but taking into account even Christ's consciousness teachings, I am the light, you are the light of the world. And then being like, oh, what does he mean? What does he mean? You're the light. They're not talking about any, they're talking about atomic, scientific, subatomic vibration. The Buddha's teachings 2,500 years ago, he's like, you're a subatomic wave of vibration. Then when they find the atomic atom, they split the atom. Buddha's like 2,500 years ago going, you vibrate 20 times past the point of zero every second. And when they actually split the atom scientifically, that's what they proved. Buddha named the atom 2,500 years ago a kalapa. And that's through closing your eyes and meditating. So guess what? The system wanted to control. The basic awareness that what you are is light. You're light, and that light vibrates. And we're not going to get onto a deeper thing of multidimensional selves and consciousness, but what I will say, what that light is how does this all happen? How am I, okay, light, what? Light is what? How am I being light and space? How am I? It's consciousness. Okay, it's consciousness. And what consciousness? Oh, I'm going to have to finish the video there because it's got low battery. So I really hope that that has just expanded into like just a simple breakdown. But what you are is consciousness, and all you are is the awareness of consciousness. What is consciousness? It's everything that is being perceived. I'll go on to another video to teach what that consciousness is in terms of ascension. But if you like this video, please tell me below. And know that I am a guide for you. I have programs from the very beginning of Someone Awakening to the middle of saying I'm master creator of my reality, to the program of saying I redesign reality because I realise what it is. I pick and choose what happens around me in every moment. My name's Emily Jackman. I really hope this has helped. For all of you that know, you know, and this isn't meant to be a and this is like an ultimate teaching. This is a nice run through for someone that's like, I think this is kind of not reality. This is to help them. So of course, always teachings are ever expansive, and it's just fun to just constantly share like this. So whoever this meets, it's meant to have met you. It's part of the divine plan. We were meant to have met. We signed a contract way up there millennia ago to meet right now, to have this moment, to change everything, to awaken your soul consciousness. Love you so much. Speak soon. Bye. Light. Now say, I'm a light being. I am the light. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.